Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you may be joining us. I want to say hello to my KidZone kids. Excited to join with you again today as we continue our lesson series on humility. In our story today, we're going to see how there were a couple guys that, well, to be honest, they were confused. Well, let me ask you this question. Have you ever been confused about things that you have read in the Bible? Even though you believe what Scripture says, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes it seems upside down. I want you to know that happens to me too. Today we're going to be looking at Luke chapter 24, verses 13 through 35. Now, in this passage, Jesus tells us that things needed to happen the way they happened. They all had a purpose. And just like this passage is true, we can believe every passage in the Bible. If you believe that God had Noah build the ark, then you should believe that he also parted the Red Sea. If you believe Scripture about Daniel in the lion's den, then you can also believe that David defeated the giant. And we can believe each and every one of those stories. Because, boys and girls, I want you to understand, there's always more to discover about God's plan. Get ready. It's time for the So-and-So Show.
My name is John.
And I'm Brandon.
And we'll see you next time on the So-and-So Show.
That's right. Today we're... Wait, what? What? Why are the credits... What's going on? These credits usually come at the end of the show?
Feel like we really learned a lot today, buddy.
We have? No, we just started. Why are you...
Hey, what's your answer to the question of the day, Brandon?
No, we haven't even revealed the question.
The question of the day is, what have you discovered about God that surprised you?
Don't give it away. No, what about Kellen, the Bible story, and all that stuff?
Oh. Reveal the question!
What is happening, John? Everything is moving backwards. The show usually happens in the other direction.
I don't know that, Brandon. But I do know this. There's nothing better than a hot and fresh apple pie.
Okay, I don't know how or why, but for some reason the show is upside down right now. Everything is moving backwards. See, normally we'd start the show, maybe have a guest we talk to for a while, and then someone would say, it's Bible story time with Kellen.
Can one of you please explain what's happening?
Is everything moving backwards for you too?
Yes. Just look at the So-and-So Show players.
You
see what I mean?
Oh man, it's worse than I thought.
Yeah, do you have any advice?
No. But I do have an idea.
Do you think that'll work?
I don't know. Let's see.
It worked! Great!
What's our story today, Kellen?
Our story today was written down by a guy named Luke in a book we now call Luke. He wrote about two followers of Jesus who were walking on the road to a village called Emmaus.
I woke up this morning and for a moment I was happy. I'd forgotten about all the things that had happened. But then I remembered.
I can't believe he's gone.
I don't even know what to do now. My whole world is turned upside down.
As they were walking, a man they didn't recognize came up and walked alongside them.
What's up?
Hello.
What are you talking about as you walk along?
You know, just all the stuff that's been going on in Jerusalem with Jesus. Are you the only person visiting Jerusalem who doesn't know about the things that have happened these last few days?
What things?
About Jesus of Nazareth.
He was a prophet.
He was powerful in everything he said and did.
We really thought he would be the one to set our people free.
Yeah, but then our rulers had him arrested and sentenced to die.
They nailed him to a cross.
And now it's the third day since he died. But then...
Then what?
We were told that our friends went to Jesus' tomb and it was empty.
Somebody must have stolen the body.
Mary and the others said that there were angels.
I know, but...
And the angels said that Jesus was still alive.
We really want to believe it's true. But how could it be?
They walked on, still very confused and sad. They had no idea that the man walking with them was actually Jesus himself.
How foolish both of you are.
Excuse me?
How long it takes you to believe what the prophets said? Didn't the Messiah have to suffer these things and then receive his glory?
I mean, I guess.
We're a little rusty on what the prophet said.
Then Jesus explained everything that was said about himself in Scripture, rewinding all the way back to Moses and the prophets. It was like God had planned for this all along.
Wow, it makes so much sense now.
You sure know a lot about Jesus.
Yeah. Here we are. Oh, wait. Do you have to keep walking? I have so much more to ask.
It's getting dark. You could stay the night with us.
Join us for dinner at least.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
super. I make great bread.
So the man they thought was a stranger, but really was Jesus, joined them for dinner. And when Jesus gave thanks and broke bread, they finally recognized him.
No way! It's Jesus.
But then Jesus disappeared from their sight.
Was he?
I did, and he was.
I knew there was something special about him.
I mean, the way he taught us about the prophets and Moses, I mean, we were so excited on the road,
we
weren't we?
have to go back to Jerusalem and tell everyone.
They'll never believe us.
We have to try.
When they got to Jerusalem, they told the 11 disciples what had been hard for them to believe, but what they knew to be true, what God had known would happen all along, that Jesus had come back from the dead. He was alive. The end. Hey, great job, So-and-so show players. Oh no, they're going backwards again.
I couldn't resist. Cool story, Kellen.
Isn't it though? Those two on the road thought they understood what was going on. Then God goes and does something completely impossible by bringing Jesus back from the dead. I always think it's surprising how God's plan works out.
I know, but God plans for things like thousands of years in advance. How could we ever understand?
We probably can't, but it helps to kind of rewind and see how God has made things work out in the past. That way, even if bad things happen or things we don't understand, we can trust that someone who is bigger and smarter than we are has got things under control.
I wonder if God's got one of these.
Probably not.
Yeah. His is probably way bigger.
Sure.
Whoa, it's Bible story time with Kellen.
Oh, boy.
Now I'll leave you to
Wait,
it.
you
Bye.
Wow, that's someone who knows stuff was amazing. Makes me want to bake a pie.
I don't even know how to deal with you right now.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
That is awesome. Well, hey, that's all the time we have today, Felina. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, I think the best thing to remember is that even if your pie recipe doesn't turn out the way you expect, you can still have fun baking it.
That's yummy. Any advice for someone out there who might want to learn how to bake a pie?
I still don't know why this is happening.
Oh, you know, apple, cherry, pecan, strawberry rhubarb, all the classics.
But hey, I don't have to know everything, right?
I'll have to try that. Hey, what are your favorite pies?
Sometimes it's better to be surprised.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's no right or wrong way to eat a pie, but I like to just pick up a nice warm pie and just smash it in my face.
I know we already did this, but
You know, I've always wondered what's the best way to eat a pie?
reveal the question. What have you discovered about God that surprised you?
So we look at the question today, has God surprised you? Let me reference you to a part in Scripture where some other people were surprised. Later on in Luke chapter 24, we see that Jesus appears to his disciples. And his disciples were very surprised. In fact, Scripture says that they didn't think that it was Jesus. They thought that he was a ghost. Understand that Jesus had talked to the disciples and told them what was going to happen. But yet even they were surprised. They were the closest to Jesus. They spent the most time with him. Probably had the best relationship with him than anybody else. And even they were surprised by his actions. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to be surprised. The wonderful thing is, Scripture is there for us to learn and for us to grow. And I want you to continue to do that. Never forget that there's always more to discover about God's plan. Boys and girls, I loved sharing this lesson with you today. And I hope that this gives you comfort when sometimes things seem confused or upside down. Okay, here's your challenge for this week. Today in our lesson, we talked about God's plan, and we see how Jesus fulfilled Scripture by humbling himself and coming to earth as a servant. Take a look at these passages that show us how Jesus humbly served others.